I consider myself a limit tester, a button presser, an envelope pusher. Within reason, proper boundaries, and legality, of course. If allowed to do a thing, I ask for limitations. I seek to find where allowance meets exception when it's not readily given. So when I ask for what the limits are, and receive no response, naturally I want to see how far I can go and how much I can learn about it. The greetings that the Disventure Camp show owners have offered are no exception to this. I am now in a unique position to see whether or not an outside force can influence the direction of an ongoing show or a character's development through mere interaction, and if so, by how much. Since I've already discovered that the real me and the Disventure Camp Sona me are not treated as one-to-one, I've decided to take my Sona self into a vastly different direction. As such, the role I play henceforth in these greetings, and referred to as Silver Dracoven, will be a different person than myself. As both a way to protect my real identity and add a little more spice, the personality traits and background will not be reflective of my own life. Additionally, these little passages explaining what I'm doing as my Sona self are not shared within the Disventure Camp dimension, only here in our own. Assume my Sona shares only the message responses, if even that much, unless otherwise discussed with the characters. The long-term goal I've decided on for this roleplay adventure will be to set my Sona up as an individual that Fiore can rely on as a member of her support system, since I fear she has little by way of actual support. I've technically already landed my Sona in her good graces by way of showing her that my Sona sees things from her perspective, to the point that Fiore's already claimed to appreciate her. This isn't enough though. I aim to make my Sona a readily available individual that Fiore can turn to if she has a problem. But this won't happen off the relation that has been created as is, without building it up more. It takes a lot more than a few agreeable messages for a child to trust somebody. Yes, even in Fiore's current position, where it feels like nearly every other adult is against her. This may prove difficult, given how closed off Fiore is emotionally, and how likely she is to turn away and ghost my Sona if she feels like my Sona has gotten too close. But I will try anyway, both just to see if I can, and because she needs somebody like that in her life. Nothing worth doing is easy, so I'm expecting resistance, obstacles, difficulties, denial, and just overall challenges. Added to that is the time limitations, with only 8 episodes left as of this getting posted, and each message response taking at least a week to make and deliver. The odds and time itself are against me, but bring it on. My Sona will believe it to be worthwhile, while the real me is interested in seeing the result of my Sona's effort. No matter the outcome, this will get interesting. The first thing I'd like to do is have my Sona address a misbehavior that has come to her attention, as I'd like my Sona to be seen as somebody that genuinely wishes to connect with her without faltering on her own values and beliefs, rather than as someone who will just spoil and dote on her as some yes-man. In reality, I know Fiore's misbehavior is likely the result of her habit of bottling up her emotions until she can't ignore them anymore and is compelled to lash out. She's been this way for a while now, but I can't just bring the attention to the source like that for 2 reasons. 1, she's already drawn a comparison between my Sona and a therapist off of a single remark in a previous message, so actually giving her a breakdown on her behavior like a therapist would likely end poorly. 2, it's not tactful, even from somebody you are already bonded with, to give such an invasive and unsolicited analysis. I need to help her figure this out on her own effort. which is why, against better judgment otherwise, I'll have my Sona focus on the effect over the source, at least for now. This means I need to utilize a misbehavior correction tactic. To my understanding, the 7 main misbehavior correction tactics are reasoning, physical discipline, confiscation, isolation, redirection, bribery, and natural consequence. Half of these my Sona cannot do with a message, a few of which she'd refuse to do anyway. This leaves her options as reasoning, redirection, and bribery. I'll have her try all 3 to see if any of them stick. I doubt it, but best to try. Then check in on Hunter afterwards to see any changes. Then have my Sona decide on her next move from how Fiore and Hunter respond.